Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, and welcome to That's Football for Bournemouth against Arsenal. I nearly said Manchester United. That's tomorrow. We're playing Leeds tomorrow. Hope you're all doing very well. Hope you've had a good day. Bloody cold here in the UK. If you check out at Goldbridge Mark, you'll see I've been on a winter walk this morning after our morning show on the United Stand, and a very pleasant scene it was. So I hope you've had a good day. We've got a good weekend of Premier League action. We've had some action already. Aston Villa extending their lead over the chasing pack for Champions League football. Wolves have won their first game in the Premier League. They've doubled their points tally to 6. In their last 2 games, they've taken 4 points. They only took 2 in their previous 18. What's going on at Wolves? Could they stay up? Absolutely incredible. West Ham, do they need to sack another manager? Brighton winning, and of course Bournemouth against Arsenal tonight. I mean, Robbie did say on Premier League predictions he's going for a Wolves win. Did he go for a Wolves win? No. He went with the West Ham win. Robbie, you did not get that right. I was there being disappointed. I've gone with the draw. He's gone with West Ham. Oh, Robbie. Oh, my Saturday night. Cheers. My Saturday night just got better. I thought he'd gone with a Wolves win. Well, I feel a lot better now, actually. I feel, you know, can I just shock you? I actually feel a lot better. Well done, Wolves. Well done, Wolves, and well done me. So I thought Robbie had gone with a Wolves win, but he's gone with West Ham. Bada bing, bada boom. That's even better. Make sure that's an X. Don't give him a point for that. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Wolves unbeaten this year. Yeah. Well, they didn't play... Well, they are. They've only played 1 game, but if they played United in the new year. But look, anyway, we are here live for Arsenal's game against Bournemouth. Semenyo starts for Bournemouth. I mean, some people are quite surprised by that. I'm not surprised by that. I'll tell you why. Because I think it plays into... the hands of Arsenal, Man City perfectly. So Petrovic, Jimenez, Hill, Senesi, Tavernier, Scott, Kluivert, Brooks, Semenyo, Evan Nilsson. Remember, Bournemouth haven't won a game since I think it was October. So you know they are in a bit of bother, but they're not that bad. You know, when you look at Bournemouth, they're not that bad. Got a good point against Chelsea, but defensively they are wide open. Yeah, they're wide open. So we should see quite an open game. And I think when teams open up against Arsenal, we do see goals like Aston Villa the other night. So I fancy Arsenal to win this, but Semenyo is there. Can he do a job for his future club? I tell you what, if he scores tonight and stops Arsenal winning, he'll go to Man City on Monday with a very, very, very big pat on his back from his new colleagues and Pep Guardiola. So look, that is interesting. And Bournemouth is always a good game. They don't win very often, but it is always a good game. Let's have a look at the Arsenal side. Let me go with that there. So Arsenal had their injury problems. Declan Rice is back though. Raya, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Hincapié, Rice, Zubimendi, Odegaard, Madueke, Gyökeres and Martinelli. Saka on the bench. A little bit of rotation, I think, there from Arsenal because Trossard's on the bench as well. Of course, they've got a big game against Liverpool on Thursday. I mean, that's 5 days away, but it's intelligent from Mikel Arteta, I think, to rotate where he can. This is why he's got a big squad. Hi, Mark. Do you recommend me to travel from Germany to watch the derby in Old Trafford, or will it be a shit game and we'll lose? It'll cost me a lot, says Ayus. Mate, you know what? I would not be surprised if we got a result against Man City. I don't think we'll get anything at the Emirates. I really don't think we'll get anything at the Emirates, but you never know. But Man City in the Manchester derby, you just don't know. You just don't know. Now, Jack says, do you think Wolves will survive? I haven't got the bottom of the table for you. I will get you the bottom of the table. Let me have a quick little bit of work. We'll come to Wolves in a moment, actually, because I just wanted to focus on the top. If you're not aware of today's results, this is our first live show of the day. Aston Villa, very convincing against Forest. I actually did watch the second half. I got back from my walk. I watched the second half with a cup of tea. It was very nice just to sit and watch a game with a cup of tea and a bacon sandwich. And Yeah, the goalkeeper made a right cock up in that game, didn't he? But look, Aston Villa, I mean, I'm looking at United, I'm looking at Chelsea, and I'm looking at Liverpool. And I think United could drop points at Ellen Road. Chelsea could drop points at the Etihad. And Liverpool could drop points at Craven Cottage. So as it stands, Aston Villa are in a very, very, very good position. And, you know, all right, they've got Thursday night football to come. But the bigger that gap, the better. And of course, Liverpool have got to play Arsenal on Thursday. So look, it's looking really good for Aston Villa. Very, very good. And they're not there in the title race either, are they? I mean, they're not there. I mean, I don't think they'll win the league, but, you know, it's looking good. Brighton have moved up to 8th with their win today. Who did Brighton beat? I want to say Burnley. I think they beat Burnley. They did beat Burnley, yeah. So very good result for Brighton. That moves them up to 8th place. But down at the bottom of the garden, among the birds and the bees. That's Poddington Peas, that is. If anybody gets that reference, fair play. Down at the bottom, Wolves have doubled their pointage. They have gone from 3 to 6, and they are now 12 points away from safety. We love miracles in football, and it's not going to happen. Basically, it's not going to happen. But, you know, it would be interesting if Wolves could start to pick up some points. That loss for West Ham, considering they've got Forest midweek, that loss for West Ham is absolutely catastrophic. They have to get something against Forest on on Tuesday. And if they don't, I think they're in huge trouble. And the problem, they are at home for that. But if they get beat by Forest, it's a proper 6-pointer because that gap goes from 4 to 7. So I think for West Ham, I mean, I don't think Nuno's a bad coach. He did a very good job at Forest last season. But, I mean, they are really bad. They're really bad, aren't they? And they're really struggling. So, but no, I don't think Wolves can stay up. No, I don't. Thanks for the early super chats. The whole England should protest against the Glazers, says John. Thank you very much. Well, we're back live at 8 o'clock on the United Stand. You can tune in for that. Mark, is this Amrim news just a hit piece, says James. Is that the one I spoke about this morning? Yeah. And Rajaf says, excited to see Odegaard's excellence. Those killer passes are too good. And Madueke is starting as well. We're about to see exciting attacking wing play, says Rajaf. Well, Rajaf is a big fan of Odegaard and Madueke, so you must be very excited. Please do share the video if you're tuning in. Thanks, everybody. We nearly got 5,000 watching, so please share the video on your socials and smash a like. Super says, remember, Man United drew to Wolves. I'm not going to forget that. Yeah, I'm not going to forget that. If we don't win the league, Amazing Gamer says, serious questions have to be answered. I'm not Arteta out, that's too far, but please, Arteta, don't let me down. In relation to Arsenal, I am going to just back myself here sometimes. Sometimes I need to do this. I said this last season at the start of December. I said Liverpool would win the league. And I had Liverpool fans saying, stop trying to jinx us, stop this, that and the other. I said, let's come back in May. Liverpool will win the league. This season, in August, before it was hip, I said, now that they've signed Gyökeres, Arsenal will win the league. And I'm not changing my mind. They're going to win this league. It might get a little bit closer than 4 points. They may even go behind at some point, but Arsenal will win this title. And I will be right very early again, so get ready for next season. But I said it about Liverpool. I think I said it about Liverpool in November last year. I said it about Arsenal at the start of the season. So, you know, let's see. But I'm very, very confident that Arsenal will win the league. And that's not just because I'm trying to jinx anybody or, you know, I'm just guessing. I think logically, I always thought Arsenal would win the league. They've got the best defence, and that's not changed. They've brought more goals into their team, which means when you look over Christmas, last year they dropped points against Everton, they beat them. Last year they dropped points against Villa, they beat them. Last year they dropped points against Brighton, they beat them. That's the improvement. That is the improvement. They're improving, they're getting more points. The trajectory for Arsenal is big. And you know what? This time last year, They drew against Bournemouth at Bournemouth. So win again, and they've improved. So all this Arteta out bollocks and all this scrutiny of Arteta, he's never going to escape that because people just want to scrutinise him. But they have improved on last season, definitely. A to win says, Arteta out, dropped Saka and ruined my FPL. Well, Saka's just been rotated, mate. I don't do FPL anymore. Not because I dislike it. I just don't really have the time. So I don't do it anymore. But what I will say is that over Christmas, when you're playing 3 games in a week and a half, any decent manager, given the opportunity, is going to rotate players. Erxess Gamer Gunnar says, I appreciate your impartial commentary. I'm looking forward to your Bundesliga. Cheers from Phoenix. Yeah, we're back with Bundesliga action next Friday. Frankfurt against Dortmund will be live on this channel, so make sure you subscribe. Get ready for that. Are you a Gooner Bridge, says Stuart? I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm a bloody Man City fan because I say that they're playing well this year. That's football. There's no point watching games or commenting on topical issues if you're not going to have a bit of passion about it. I don't even know how content would work on this channel if I just glazed Manchester United and ignorantly took the piss out of everybody else. These hate watchers and all this bollocks. I just enjoy football. And if Arsenal were crap, Liverpool are crap at the moment, in my opinion. But like over the summer, I said, what a good summer. Last season, I said, they're going to win the league. They're playing really, really well. So, I'm just honest in my assessment. But I do feel that, in my opinion, Arsenal are going to win the title. And I think a lot of I think they'll win this game tonight comfortably. I reckon it'll be 4-2, something like that. 3-1, 4-2. I think there'll be loads of goals. Bournemouth don't know how to defend. The incredible thing, let me see if I can just double check this. So, Bournemouth, I know it's away from home. Bournemouth away from home concede 3 goals a game. 2.9, they average 2.9 goals conceded in away games. Guess how many away games they've played? 10. So in 10 games, they average 3 goals a game, basically. They've conceded more goals away from home than anybody. 29 goals in 10 games they've conceded away from home. Wolves 17, Burnley 26, Leeds 20, Brentford 16. So incredible amount of goals conceded away. At home, they've only conceded 6. This is the most weird team in the world. They've conceded 29 goals away from home, averaging 3 goals a game, but at home, they've got the second best defence in the league. Arsenal have conceded 5 goals in 10 home games. Bournemouth have conceded 6. But they've only scored 11. They're a weird, weird team. Really weird. So away from home, they seem to play ridiculously open. And at home, they seem to play quite strategic. It's just weird. So look, but I think there'll be a load of goals. I think Arsenal will score early. Bournemouth will revert to away form, and I think we'll get a load of goals. Jake says, I'm currently stuck at work in a van, broken down, so using you for entertainment. Might watch back all of Maguire's goals. Well, we'll keep you company for the next couple of hours, Jake, and don't worry if you're still there. We've got United Stand at 8 o'clock. Thank you very much for your super chat. Really appreciate you, and thanks everyone who's tuning in. Come on, Bournemouth. I really want to do an either or. I feel like over the Christmas period, we really have dropped the either or game here. So I'm just going to chuck some. I mean, look, it doesn't have to be football related, but I'm going to go either or. And being as Semenyo is on the pitch, I want to get your either or on this. Semenyo or Morgan Rogers. Boom. Just drop it in like that. And Raki Reed just says, any beers? I've actually had some friends round last night. We already had a load of beers in, so we drank then. But he bought a 4-pack of Asahi. And I only ever drink this in the pub. So I thought, you know what? Tomorrow night, I am actually going to have a couple of those. So Asahi tonight. Cheers, everyone. It is dry. It does say super dry, and to be honest, it is quite dry. But I like Asahi. It's nice. Japanese. Okay, thank you very much. If you want to do a super chat, you can do that through the $sign. We'll read those out. Let me get ready for the start of the timer. Why didn't you do the Villa game? You know what? This year, we will be doing loads of watch-alongs, but I'm not going to do them. I'm trying not to do 2 or 3 a day. I'd rather do less is more. You know, I'd rather do like Bournemouth, Arsenal, talk about the Villa game, talk about the Wolves game, and be really, you know, I found last year I was just doing too many. And by the time you get to the second or third one, you know, you're not as energetic. So I just want to, I want to go for quality over quantity this year. But join me tomorrow where I'm doing 4 watch-alongs. No. So yeah, look, I'd rather come into this game and just enjoy it. And Semenyu's in straight away, but good defending by Arsenal. He was in straight away there. I don't know whether you heard me. He was in straight away, and it's gone for a corner to Bournemouth. So yeah, imagine that. Imagine if he'd scored in the first 10 seconds. But just enough done by Hincapié to put him off. So corner to Bournemouth here. Rodgers is different gravy, Mark, says WC Bosch. And Iriola plays 3 number 10s in midfield, hence it's so open, says Tenish. But how can you concede 29 goals away from home and only 6 at home? That contrast is incredible. Really incredible. And you know the stupid thing is, I watched Bournemouth play Chelsea in December at Bournemouth. And I think it finished 0-0. I think it was 0-0. There's no way it was a 0-0 game. Chelsea had chances, Bournemouth had chances. So I can't get my hat on how they've only conceded 6 goals at home. Because they do play open football. They're not boring. Already they're on the front foot. I think we're going to get a great game tonight. Really looking forward to it. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Please do share the video and get involved. Saleba's just going to kick that out. Luke says, what did you think of City versus Sunderland last week? Man, I didn't watch it. I was doing the United stand at 8 o'clock and we had it on. But I thought the New Year's Day games were shit, to be honest. Liverpool, Leeds, all the games just felt like they had something missing, really. Reece says, low-key, a good side, says Reece. I tell you what, this is going to be very interesting. Semenyo doing a long throw-in here. I wonder if Man City are going to use these long throw-in. His long throw-in compared to Dalot, he's almost throwing it double. His last game in a Bournemouth shirt, and he's already won another corner here. Both great players, Mark. Rodgers edges him, in my opinion. If you're United, Arsenal, or Chelsea, you should be looking at Rodgers. Should be one of those clubs, says Rajaf. Yeah, well, 61% of you have gone with Rodgers over Semenyo. So we'll end that poll. But if anyone's got any either-ors, let me know your thoughts. A good one to start off with there. I agree with Rodgers over those as well. But another corner to Bournemouth here. They've started on the front foot. Escalade says Kavanagh likes to award a penalty. I think he's a crap ref, yeah. Headed away. Of course, Arsenal defensively very good as well. We know that. And Arsenal looking to break away here, and they will do. Martinelli down the right-hand side. Shit cross. But it will stay in on the far side with Hincapié. He should use Declan Rice here quickly. Rice with a bit of time. Into Odegaard. I feel this is where Arsenal go wrong, though, because when Declan Rice got that, he should have whipped the cross in. That's when Gyökeres wants the cross. I feel that my criticism of Arsenal is they do overplay the ball. Like, you look at that. They're now back on the halfway line, and Declan Rice could have put the cross in. I do think they overplay the ball. I do. I mean, they're very effective, and I think they'll win the league, but I do think they overplay the ball. Chubby says, can we do a Rodgers versus... Oh, okay. So we're doing a winner stays on style here, are we? Foden or Rodgers. I like it. I mean, it doesn't have to be winner stay on. I just quite like that. Let's start that poll. Jan says, Wilcox and Amrin fallout. What are your comments, Mark? I did a whole video on the United stand about it. Let's stick to this. Wanyeri is not playing today, says Esclad, because the word is he's going to Bournemouth. Be a good move for him. Arsenal absolutely should loan him out. Lovely play by Hincape. He tried to get it into Gyökeres quickly, but it's gone back to the keeper. Rodgers is battering Foden again as well. Is Rodgers beatable? Hello says, I'm surprised Rodgers is winning. Recency bias, says Sat. Here we are with Madueke. I think Madueke was playing really well for Arsenal when he first started. Lovely ball into Timber. Bournemouth defending well. Good start to the game though. Good intensity. Players on the break. Cherky or Rodgers? Piss off, Liam. Cherky's doing well, but come on. Martinelli. Ooh. But how can he have got the ball there? Apparently he got the ball. Crap clearance by Bournemouth though. Zubamendi's got it into Odegaard. Quick feet. He's going to shoot, you know. Terrible. Terrible shot. Terrible shot. Alpha says we should do Rodgers versus Pele. Well, Rodgers has won that one already. 63% of the votes against Foden. I mean, I don't keep them up when they're that much in his favour. I feel like we need to do someone who might beat Rodgers here now. Bruno or Rodgers. Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes. What games are you doing tomorrow? Man City. Come on, Man City. 3-2, mate. Man City tomorrow at 5:30, which is weird because on a Sunday it's normally 4:30, isn't it? So it's another 5:30. We're live at 5:30 tomorrow for Man City against Chelsea. I'm on the United stand at 12:30 for Leeds against Man United. Now there are some interesting 3 o'clock games, but by the time I've done the match reaction to the Leeds game, the 3 o'clock games will have started. So I'm just going to do Man City Chelsea. But I do think in the 3 o'clock games tomorrow, there's a couple of very interesting ones. Fulham, Liverpool. I think Liverpool will drop points there. Sorry, Liverpool fans, but I just think you're not playing very well. It'd be and in fact, if you do win there tomorrow, fair play. Bloody Rodgers is beating Bruno now. Lovely ball into Gyökeres. Oh, I tell you what, that's where he needs to be a little bit sharper there. I'm a United fan and it's Rodgers, no competition, says Josh. Well, that's controversial. Brendan Rodgers being better than Bruno Fernandes is incredible to me. I think you all thought I was talking about Morgan Rodgers. I'm talking about Brendan Rodgers. I just can't believe you voted for Brendan Rodgers over Bruno Fernandes. It's shocking. Timber coming forward, out to Madueke. I mean, what a player to have to be able to rest Saka. And he's in. And he's going to shoot. Oh, he's put it over the bar. That would have been great. Absolutely great. So exciting, Madueke, isn't he? That's squad depth. That's squad depth. That's football. ZMP, thank you very much for your very generous super chat this evening. $9.99, I think. Thoughts on the overall quality of the Premier League this year? I think it's been really poor, bar City and Arsenal. Still the best league in the world, but it's been lacking this year. Oh, 100%, mate. It's 100% lacking. I mean, if you take a look at this table for a moment, I know for a fact that Man United are crap this year, and yet we are 3 points off fourth. Liverpool fans know for a fact they're crap this year, and you're fourth. Chelsea have sacked their manager, and they're fifth. So, yeah, the quality is a bit hit and miss this season. Having said that, Man City and Arsenal have been very good, and in my opinion, so have Aston Villa. So, I think we've got 3 very good teams, but beyond, I mean, look at Newcastle as well. They should be in the top 4. But they're not. So, yeah, I think the quality has been a bit lacking. It'll be very interesting to see if it steps up over the summer. Bruno has been playing in the midfield. That's why Rodgers is better. Fair point, well made. Thank you very much, TTV Videos. Unfortunately, Pep's going to spank Chelsea 4-0 tomorrow. I'm going to give it another couple of minutes because Bruno is coming back. It's 47-53 and it was 45-55. So we'll keep that one going a little bit. Bruno Fernandes or Morgan Rodgers. Morgan Rodgers winning the staying on poll at the moment. He's beaten Foden. He's beaten Semenyo. And now he's actually beating Bruno. Can he be defeated? Michael says, have you ever gone away for New Year's Eve abroad? No. Dougie says, the show this morning on United Stand was really good and hits home. Yeah, it was really good. And it's 1-0 to Bournemouth. They've scored against the Arsenal. It's Evan Nilsson. And Arsenal are losing. Arsenal are losing here. We've got a game. We've got a game. We've got a game of football. And it's Bournemouth who are 1-0 up. Man City fans will be rejoicing. Maybe other fans will be rejoicing. This makes it very, very interesting. Gabriel's not very happy. Been Mr. Reliable for them. But basically a bad pass out into Zubimendi. No, it wasn't that. That wasn't. It comes into Gabriel. And oh my life. What is he doing? What a pass by Gabriel. I mean, it comes to Gabriel and he passes it right across the 6-yard box to Evan Nilsson and Raya's out a goal. An absolute comedy pass by Gabriel that leads to an open goal for Evan Nilsson. Somebody said check his bank account. I mean, that's harsh. And absolutely, I mean, John Victor is sat there going, I'm not the only prat Brazilian in the Premier League today. If you didn't see John Victor's comedy run out from goal that led to the Villa third goal, you'd be thinking he's going to be the biggest prat of the day. But Gabriel has made John Victor's dreams can come true because he is now prat of the day. Absolutely incredible. Incredible by Gabriel. Let the bottling begin, says Mohammed. A long way to go. Long way to go. BDTA says, as a Bournemouth fan, I'm surprised by how poor we've been this year, although I hope we can get a new goalkeeper. Thanks, Mark, for covering us. No worries. Well, you're winning here. This is what it's all about. This is entertainment. So, Arsenal being tested again. The only thing I'd say about Bournemouth is a long way to go. And I think if you're going to beat Arsenal, you need more than one goal. So, game on. But a real gift. A late Christmas gift for Evan Nilsson and Bournemouth. And Arsenal are going to have to dig deep here. Brandon says, Bristol City or Bristol Rovers? I mean, Bristol are just such a meh when it comes to football in the UK. I know where Bristol is. I have been. But I don't associate it with football, so I don't really have a tendency over City or the Rovers, to be honest. That's going to be a shot. Not bad by Clivert, just wide. Bournemouth with their tails up at the moment. Raphael says, Mark, in South Africa, we play a game called Buffalo. If you pick that drink up with your right hand, you down it. Someone must call Buffalo, though. Ah. You must get. I'll tell you what, I'd be absolutely wasted very quickly then. Take the tree down, mate. Mate, it's the 12 days of Christmas, and we're only on day 10, I think. Just want to give Mark and his team a big thank you for all you do throughout the year. Keep up the outstanding and groundbreaking work, says It's Me. Well, stay tuned to That's Football this season because we should have some big stuff coming up in the next couple of months, which we're currently working on. So just stay tuned. It could be better than 25, and 25 was bloody good with the Bundesliga stuff and everything. Jade says, I finally ended things with my girlfriend. Thank you for telling me to stay with her through the break and get the gifts. Always pleased me in and out of the bed, but it's finally over. She really didn't take the breakup well. She might kidnap my dog. Yeah, Jade was the person who was going to break up with his girlfriend before Christmas. And I sort of said, look, you probably won't get your presents if you do that. So he stayed with her over Christmas, got the presents and got some good presents in the bedroom as well, but has now ended it. Some people think that's using. That's ridiculous. That's woke nonsense. He's already in a relationship with her. She's happy to be in the relationship. Just because he's thinking about breaking up, that's not information she needs to know until he decides to do it. You know, he might have been a loan deal in his head and doesn't want to make it permanent. I'm a Pool fan and I'm not hopeful tomorrow, says DBX. Liverpool will probably turn up and win 4-0 tomorrow. Brendan Rodgers has beaten Bruno Fernandes 52% to 48%. Nearly 5,000 votes. But Bournemouth are 1-0 up here. "15 minutes gone and they are 1-0 up. The only trouble is, Jade, you've got a very short window now to get somebody in for Valentine's Day. Because if you don't, you'll be there on Valentine's Day with a pot noodle in your hand. Irish Ryan says, "Going to London in April. What stadium tour should I do while I'm there?" Oh, keeper's punched that. He's done enough. It goes out to Madueke. Takes on Semenyo. Goes past Semenyo. Cuts it back. Goal. What a block. Goal. Gabriel. He's given it. He's given it. Wow. What a redemption arc. What a redemption arc from Gabriel. Dreams do come true. 1-1. That's football. And I tell you what, that's title contenders mentality. He makes a mistake. He erases the mistake. Brilliant play by Madueke on the right-hand side as well. I mean, I was never a big fan of Madueke at Chelsea. I thought it was a weird signing. But at Arsenal, I just think he's been incredible. I'm not saying he's better than Saka. He's just different. He did brilliantly well there. Gabriel through the crowd as well. Zubamendi's shot got... Was it Martinelli? I think it was Martinelli, actually. Look at this from Madueke, though. Sends Semenyo to City. To the byline. Cuts it back. I think it was Martinelli with the shot. Well, no surprises he missed. And then it bounces that back to Gabriel. How is Gabriel able to guide it through the players more than Martinelli? Martinelli's shot was shit. But look at this from Gabriel. Lovely finish. 1-1. Irish Ryan says, "What stadium tour should I do?" I've never done a stadium tour in London. I've walked around a few stadiums, but yeah. I hope they bring in ref cam every game. It's quality, says Indian. Madueke is just the best, isn't he, Mark, says Rajaf. Thoughts on Celtic being in completely a nuclear meltdown, especially losing the old firm at home, says Jamie. Oh, mate, I mean, let's get real. Celtic are absolutely terrible. Yeah, they're absolutely crap. And they're 6 points off Hearts now, and they haven't got a game in hand because Hearts have just won. So, I mean, look, it's good for the league. Gyökeres goes for a shot, wins a corner. Arsenal showing character here. Yeah, Celtic lost to Rangers today, so they're now level on points. I mean, Rangers could win the league. Rangers are back into joint second with Celtic on 38 points. Hearts are 6 points clear. But they play each other about 50 times, don't they? So there's a long, long, long way to go. But Celtic's new manager, you feel sorry for him, really. Can't wait for the Arteta out crew to be summoned, says Charlie. Do a Cunha versus Garnacho poll, says Default 66. I mean, he has done a super chat, so I feel I must do that. Corner for Arsenal. Keeper does get it away. It's a super chat request. Garnacho versus Cunha. There you go. Madueke left the ship before it sank, says George. Thanks for your super chat, pal. Andrea says, have you got hope for the game tomorrow? I think when you think United are going to lose, they tend to turn up. So, you know, we thought we'd beat Wolves, we don't turn up. We thought we'd beat West Ham, we don't turn up. We thought we'd beat Everton, we don't turn up. We thought Villa would beat us, they did, but we did turn up. Same at Anfield. So I think we'll probably turn up tomorrow. I hope we are going to. Just depends whether the players start to take notice of the external noise, because if they down tools, he's gone. Throwback as Arsenal fan, Vieira Keane or Keane captain, says Sam. I'm not doing throwback either or. They're dead boring. Roy Keane was better than Vieira. Easily. Jawa says, you should have blurred Garnacho's name. He's a snake. Well, we've had a good 20 minutes here. We've had 2 goals. I predicted this game was going to either be 3-1 to Arsenal or 4-2 to Arsenal. So both teams to score is correct after 20 minutes. He's done well to keep that in, Bournemouth. They're still on the attack. Why did he turn back into... Players really frustrate me when they turn back into danger. He literally had the opportunity to put the cross in and turned back into the Arsenal player. Lovely play by Madueke, but he's done well there, Truffert, who I think has been a good signing for Bournemouth. Mr. El-Shamari says, I hope Arsenal drop points. X says, what do you make of fans blacking out Garnacho on TikTok? I don't go on TikTok, so I don't know. Evan Nilsson's got to be offside. And he was miles offside. Yeah. I tell you what, on a very serious note, I want to say this. I mean, I've got no, politics, advice, make your own decisions. But that New Year's Eve tragedy, was it in Switzerland, in that nightclub, where all those people died because of the sparklers that set the club on fire? I actually thought some people were just being really sick by saying that people died because they didn't leave because they were filming it. But apparently it's true that when it was being set on fire, people were filming it. I also saw that car crash with Anthony Joshua in it, and the camera panned and showed the aftermath of what happened to the 2 dead people. I can't control what people do, but for the love of God, stop fucking recording things and get yourself out of danger. Like, at the end of the day, it's just not bloody worth it. Like, some of you just live on your phones. Like, it's such a tragedy. And to think that people were, like, filming that when they could have been getting out of a club, it's scary. And, I have sympathy with those people, because you go to a bloody concert, you go to a football match, and people are too busy doing this than actually watching. And it's a mentality thing. And, it's everybody just wants to grab the phone and record something. And it's just like, what's happening to society? What's happening to us? Like, the thing is, right? Ooh, chance. Headed Tavernier from across. The thing is, right, I don't get to go to as many games as I used to. But if I get to go and watch a game live, my phone doesn't come out my pocket. I'm not interested in filming any part of the game. I'm not interested in tweeting about the game. If I'm at a live event, I want to watch it. If I'm watching bloody Coldplay, I don't want to film it. I just want to watch it. That's my memory. I don't need to film it and not be in the moment. So, yeah, I mean, look, it's going to go in one ear, out one ear, because I think it's just natural learned behaviour for certain people. But I actually couldn't believe that in a dangerous situation like that, people were getting the phone out to film it rather than getting out of danger. Life through your phone, says James, exactly. So look, please live in the moment. Look, phones are brilliant. I was there on Christmas Eve in the bath, swiping through some hilarious little short stories on Instagram, and they were hilarious, but I'm safely in the bath, and I had 20 minutes where I just thought I'll have a little look. But don't live your life through your phone. Don't. Anyway, back to the football. Rodgers versus Bellingham, Mark. Oh, I like this one. Well, Cunha has battered Garnacho 82% to 18. I mean, I'd love to watch Cunha against Garnacho in a Hell in the Cell wrestling game, but he's battered him in an either or. So I like this one. I do like this one. Either or, Bellingham or Rodgers. Rodgers is back again. back to, title. Either or, Yamal or Elise, says Rays. We'll do that one next. Remind me about that. Jay Dunn says, Wolves are playing well. Do you think they have a chance? No. No, absolutely not. I think it's too far. Too much. I don't think they'll get the worst ever Premier League points total. Kyle says, I hope you have a happy and healthy New Year, Mark. I'm a big fan of you. Take care. And to you, Kyle, Happy New Year. And I hope it's a good one to you as well. Thank you very much. Free kick here to Bournemouth. We've only had 25 minutes, but it feels like we've had a lot of action in this game so far. Kluivert might shoot from here. It's a long way out. And he has, and it goes wide. I mean, I don't think he's ever going to beat Raya from there. WC Bosch says, do you feel better about the Wolves draw after what they did today? Also, West Ham going to sack 2 managers in one season. Oh my God. What sort of shit mentality is that? Are there United fans who actually feel better about drawing to Wolves because they've won 1 game this season against shitty West Ham? Mate, we're at home to Wolves and we're meant to see it as a good point now because they beat West Ham. Oh my God. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's scraping the barrel of positivity, that is. That's like getting knocked out by somebody half your size who, is wearing a blindfold. And then everyone's ridiculing you. But then the following weekend, they beat up a cat. I mean, well, hopefully they'll be going to bloody prison for that as well. But... as if United beat West Ham, says GGS. Yeah, well, they're shit. West Ham are shit. And we couldn't beat them either. Bellingham is beating Rodgers 52%. Semenyu's been booked. Imagine if he got sent off. It's his 5th of the season, but that's been wiped now, so he won't get suspended. It'll be a good 8 o'clock show tonight because there's still United fans saying trust the project without realising that trust the project means that you're rimming the Glazers. Oh, trust the project. It's harsh, says Mark. Hi, Mark. If you've heard of the spiritual healer called... No, I'm not reading that. Sorry. Are you hyped for the World Cup? I am looking forward to the World Cup. I think it's going to be tough, the World Cup, the first few weeks. The first week or so is going to be a lot of crap games because it's seeded for all the top 8 teams to go through to the quarterfinals. But the razzmatazz of it should make it interesting. And we've got nothing else to watch. So I just don't know whether I'm going to be in America or I'm going to be just sat doing them here at the moment. We'll know in a couple of months. Bournemouth still very much in this game, by the way. Don't you forget about it. I mean, they're in this game and they're fighting. Chuck me your questions in as well. Always Agony Bridge. Jade's been keeping us updated over the next month. So any problems you want us to solve, drop them in. I tell you what, we sometimes bring up things that get on your nerves. Oh my God. Yesterday morning, I went to go and get my haircut at 9 o'clock and I have the morning show at 10. So my routine is go and get the haircut at 9, takes about half an hour, get back in the car. It's about a 15-minute drive, back for 9:45, live for 10 o'clock. Yesterday morning, sprinkling of snow, very cold, so the roads were a little bit icy. Got in the car. Had to go in the little car, so it's not 4-wheel drive. But, I used to be in the police, so I know how to drive a car. And, you could put me in a bloody go-kart on an ice track and I'd still keep it controlled. I'm joking. It's very dangerous in ice. But I was doing it right. Higher gear, lower speed. 3 times I approached a junction and some dickhead pulled out in front of me, and then as soon as they got on the road, slammed the brakes on because it was icy. And I was like, why can't you just let me go past? You can see I'm going at a steady 25 miles an hour, and the gap's not there for you to come out anyway. But then you come out and put your brakes on, and it's icy. 3 times it happened. Why do people pull out of junctions when there isn't time for you to do it? And why do they pull out, and then they pull out really quick, and then they go slow? Idiots. Really does wind me up. But apart from that, nothing really did wind me up over Christmas. I mean, look, the TV was absolute shite, wasn't it? I mean, most of my TV watching was just watching things I'd watched before. Why they can't come up with new... Although, actually, you know what I did discover over Christmas that I thought was bloody good? And people don't really do new comedies. And it is a little bit football related. It's called Here We Go. It's a sitcom called Here We Go, and there's 3 seasons of it. And I only watched it this Christmas because they had a Christmas special on, and now I've got 3 seasons of it to watch. And I actually think it's very, very good. So, you know, shout out, give it a go. Here We Go. It's very good. Bournemouth with the cross. Here we go over the bar. That would Tavernier. That would have been absolutely perfect. That would have been so good. If he'd scored then, because I would have gone, here we go! And he's bloody missed it. Oh, he should have done better. Why has he gone with his left foot? Cross comes into the front post from Clivert. He's gone with his bloody right. Why don't you hit it with your... He's gone with his left. It's all right going, ooh, you should have hit it with your right, you prats. People film things good or bad for attention. It's sad, says DBX. Rajaf says, I like the look of Scott in the Bournemouth midfield. Yeah, he played very well against us when he came on. He's a good player. Jaden Blues, who's a Chelsea fan, he says, what's your opinion on the Chelsea board pushing Maresca out? And can you do Esteval versus Doué next? Thank you. Love you. Love what you're doing. Well, I'll do that now for you, Jaden, because Jude Bellingham has knocked out Rodgers 54% to 46%. I actually prefer Rodgers for England, but I do agree that Bellingham's a better player. So there's a bit of nuance to that. But we've got a new either or here. Well, who was it? Esteval or Doué? There we go. Thank you. As for Chelsea, Jaden, I think Chelsea and Maresca are in a position where that's a breakup. If that was a relationship, if that was a man and a woman, or a man and a man, or a woman and a woman, or whatever else you can categorize people as these days, there's a lot. Then let's pretend it's a man and a woman because it's easier for my head. If they're in a relationship and you know they've had Christmas together and then you know New Year reality kicks in. A lot of people are in this situation, by the way. And they just both go out for a meal and go, I really don't actually like you that much anymore. And then the other person goes, you know what? I find you really irritating as well. Let's break up. I think that's what's happened with Chelsea and Maresca. Lovely cross by Truffert, and that's going to go out for a corner. Bournemouth are probing here. This is not... Arsenal may have equalised, but this is not comfortable for Arsenal. This is a good game by Bournemouth. So, yeah, I think Chelsea and Maresca were at a point where they needed to break up. Would James Garner be the best midfielder at United, says Mr. MM McGregor? Well, probably, because our midfield's crap. That'll be another corner for Bournemouth. Talking of annoying things, can you ban the phrase, if Bruno was playing, we would have won from here and United stand for him? I'd rather hear what opportunity there is if someone would take it, says Monoxide Poison. Thank you very much. It's been a very slow half, Lee. It has been a slow half, but there's a lot going on. Corner to Bournemouth. Lots of goal action. Let's have a look at what happens with this. And Raya just comes and catches it. Peter says, long throw from Arsenal earlier, but you don't say anything against Arteta or Arsenal. Only rage when it's United and Amorim. Bit weird, just saying. It's not a bit weird. It's not a bit weird at all. Just ask the question without being a dick. Arsenal do the occasional long throw in, so do Bournemouth. But they actually throw it quite far with a lot of power and trajectory. Delo can't even throw it far, and it has the power of a butterfly's fart. We're not even very good at it. And we do it a lot. We do it a hell of a lot. In fact, I would say the long throw is one of our biggest attacking weapons. Rayan says, Gyökeres is playing bad again. Well, he'll be off, won't he? I think Bournemouth look like they might score. Not with that, though. It's a good clearance. I have watched Cobra Kai, Steve. Finished that last year. It's good. In fact, I really enjoyed Cobra Kai. I thought all seasons... I know a lot of people are not happy with Stranger Things, and God, Game of Thrones was crap at the end, but I thought Cobra Kai was a series that from start to finish was brilliant. It's not easy to get that final season done, but yeah, very, very good. Peter says, is there any manager you would have at Man United? I don't think any manager can succeed at Man United, which is a lot of what we've been talking about on the United stand. You know, this continual replacement of managers. I'm at the point now where, you know, I don't think there's a manager that can succeed. I think there's a manager that can come in and do better. But I think United's ceiling is the occasional top four and the occasional domestic trophy, as we've seen over the last 10 years. We're never going to win the Premier League or the Champions League or contend for Premier Leagues with this ownership. So, you know, there might be some improvement with a new manager, but it won't be to the level we want. So if I had to replace Amorim and I could get a manager in, I probably would like someone like Unai Emery, Conte. One of those two would be good. I thought the screen had frozen then. Madueke just sort of stood still with the ball. Still 10 minutes to go to half-time, though. Arsenal will be very happy to be back level after that Gabriel mistake, but Bournemouth is definitely asking questions of them. Here's Martinelli. Not really going anywhere. Yeah. Puts a cross in, not very good. I don't rate Martinelli. I've said this before. I don't rate him. I know he'll get the odd goal and he might get a goal tonight, but I don't rate him. Good ball by Odegaard. Here he is again. And another crap cross. So twice he's had the ball out wide and not beat the first man. With the way United is now, would Sir Alex Ferguson achieve, says David? Well, you know, what, Sir Alex Ferguson at his age is not going to be able to manage a Premier League football club. Sir Alex Ferguson, in his prime, had spent 20 years building a football club. So it's a very difficult question. As I said, I don't think any manager is going to succeed with our ownership. Semenyo needs to be a little bit careful here. What's your opinion on Liam Rosigne going to Chelsea, says Joshua? Look, he might do well. I've got nothing against him. Obviously, I'm not going to wish him well as a United fan. However, I don't get the Chelsea model. You know, you need experience. You need an experienced striker. You need an experienced centre-back. You need an experienced manager. And they just have this obsession with learner drivers. WC Bosch says, I've never seen Kavanagh referee a good game. Odds, Gyökeres back at Coventry next year. Barely Premier League level, says Duncan. Thank you very much. Mbappe versus Haaland next, please, Mark. Who would you have, says Kartik. Well, Doué's beaten Esteval by 61%, so I will do that one for you. Mbappe versus Haaland. Who would you have as your striker? I've got a video coming out soon for Team of the Year for 2025. Who would you have as your striker? I think there's 3 choices. I think there's Mbappe, Haaland, and Kane. I know who I'd have. I'm not going to give you a spoiler, but corner to Arsenal. What trophies would we have won if Sir Alex Ferguson never left? Says hypocrisy. I mean, I can't answer that. I think he would have won another Premier League if he'd stayed for 3 years. So 5 minutes to go to half time here. I tell you what, if you're a City fan, you'd be looking at this game and you'd be saying, based on this first 45 minutes, it's not like Arsenal are dominating Bournemouth. I feel like Bournemouth have been the better attacking side. You might be quite hopeful for drop points here. ZMP says, our ownership wants someone to boss around. The favourites for our new manager is embarrassing as a Chelsea fan. No wonder the Glazers like Chelsea. Yeah, but the difference between Chelsea and Manchester United is, and there are similarities in this obsession with youth and controlling the manager, but at least you have spent 2 billion in the last few years. Like, Chelsea do spend money. I don't think they spend it on the right players, but you do spend money. Haaland's beating Mbappe at the moment, 53%. Martinelli. They've got to stop getting the ball out to Martinelli. This is just such a dead ball. Here he is again. At least he's passed it. Zubimendi. Odegaard. You can see why he uses Trossard. Peter says, Peter's back again. But your original point wasn't that United are bad at long throw-ins, but that you hate them in general. So why not saying anything against Arsenal Arteta? I mean, Peter, as I've said to you twice now, I don't know why you're being such a dick. I'm a Man United fan. If Arsenal want to do long throw-ins, that's up to them. But I'm a Man United fan. I don't like long throw-ins. I ain't going to lose my shit about Arsenal doing long throw-ins because I don't support Arsenal. I support Man United and I hate long throw-ins. And I hate to see our right back running across to the left wing to chuck a ball not even that far. If you can't, I mean, I don't know how many times I have to explain it to you. I don't want to see Man United doing long throws. If Arsenal want to do them, I don't bloody care. AXRB, thank you very much. Welcome to the Members Club. Appreciate you. Semenyu gets that yellow if he wasn't City bound, says Tanishk. Yeah, he could have had a second yellow. I think it would have been a bit soft, but he could have had a second yellow. United owners prefer rich fan or super rich investor, says Chris Jackson. Oh, United owner. Mate, I don't really care whether they're a United legend or they know next to nothing about football. As long as they come into the club, clear the debt, and want to be successful, then I think it would be a massive improvement. Haaland versus Mbappe polls getting closer, 52%. I'm on the United stand at 8 o'clock. Yeah, it was a cracking show this morning. I think it'll be a great, even better show tonight because I'll have had a couple of these boys or girls. I mean, I don't know what gender is a bottle of beer. Poll, either or. We'd have too many bloody choices though. That's the problem with society today. Everyone's got too many bloody choices. You have. I used to have 4 channels when I was growing up. It was Adam and Eve. It was 4 TV channels. Simple. If I was gonna genderize a bottle of beer, it would have to be a female because I don't want to be on a bloke. Actually, there wasn't 5 channels, cap or die. There was 4. Oh, Martinelli, he'll mess this up. He's through. Oh, what a surprise. Couldn't cross his bloody legs. Oh, I'm going to have to tweet it. He's terrible. He's absolutely crap. I've tweeted it so he'll score a goal now, but he is rubbish. This is a man's world, but it don't mean nothing, nothing, without a woman on his arm. Is that the lyrics? Don't know. Crossing your legs is pretty difficult. Mate, I'm doing it now. It's a piece of piss. You put one leg over the other. Mate, if you think crossing your legs is difficult, God, you must piss yourself every day. A bottle of beer is molecules and atoms, bottlist, says NAU. Do you find it crazy Mbappe is 27? No, because I said this about Declan Rice. I always feel like Declan Rice is 22, and I think he's about 27 now. Dirty. Thanks very much for your super chat. Some good comments coming in. 45 minutes, 2 minutes added on. Dry January, my arse. Who's doing that to dry January? Me. Stick it up your arse. I mean, I do respect. I just want to say, I do respect people that are dry January. Each to their own. I was actually out down the pub last week, and you know when you put your foot in it, there's quite a large table of people. People kept turning up that we knew and sitting at the table, so it was quite large. We'd already been down for a couple of pints, and it was about 4 or 5 pints in. And this would have been like the 29th of December, so sat there. People were talking about Christmas, and because I'd had a couple of drinks, I was feeling a little bit like Gobby, and I was like, you know what? I can't believe people who take their Christmas decorations down before New Year's Eve. I mean, I think you should keep them up until at least January the 5th, but you've got to keep them up till New Year's Eve. These bloody idiots taking them down Boxing Day, absolute twats. I wouldn't piss on them if they're on fire. And everyone at the table was laughing. They were laughing. They were like, yeah. Anyway, you couldn't have timed it any better. 2 of our friends turn up in the pub, sit down, and start talking about Christmas. And about 5 minutes later, she says, oh, I tell you what, I took my Christmas decorations down on Boxing Day. I just wanted to give the house a good clean. The whole table was looking at me. As if I was going to say anything. I'm not going to bloody say anything. But I think they thought I was going to say something. I'm not going to bloody say anything. Her husband's massive. He goes down the bloody gym all the time. I tell you what, Jim will fix it. He'll bloody batter me. So I just smiled and went, anyone want a drink? And I got up and left. Anyway, half time, 1-1. Good game. Gabriel with Pratt of the day. Giving the lead to Bournemouth with a ridiculous pass across the face of his goal, which led to Evan Nilsson getting an open goal. And then he went up the other end. Well, Madueke did all the hard work. Although it was a good finish for Gabriel. It wasn't easy. Brilliant play by Madueke, made it 1-1. But the interesting thing about this game at half-time is that when you look at the stats... No, I don't want to look at the Arsenal team. I want to look at the stats. Bournemouth very much in this game. 8 shots to Arsenal's 5. Only 1 shot on target, but 4 corners to Arsenal's 1. They're definitely the better attacking team. Arsenal are really struggling to create opportunities. As many people have said, Gyökeres has struggled. I think Martinelli's been the worst player on the pitch, by the way. I think he's put in an absolute stinker of a performance. But they do have options on the bench, you know, and I think they're going to have to use them. They don't play Liverpool till Thursday. So looking at that Arsenal bench and who they could bring on. Let's have a quick look. So you've got Eze, Lewis Skelly, Moreno, Saka, Trossard, Jesus. They've got a good selection of attacking options on that bench. And I do think that they're going to need to use them because Martinelli and Gyökeres are struggling, and there's not many chances been made. Peter says Bournemouth have got a better 11 than Man United. I think we should have beat them at Old Trafford. Mr. says, agony, I'm visually impaired by why do women not want to date someone disabled? Why are people so awkward around disabled people? We are normal and have feelings too. It really upsets me. Thank you very much for your super chat. Well, mate, I don't know, but that makes me very sad, and I'm sure it makes everybody else in the chat sad, because being visually impaired and being disabled, I mean, I just think you've not found the right person, pal. I don't think that because, you know, everybody, don't give up. Like, you know, everybody, you know, look at Wolves. Wolves hadn't won a game in 19 Premier League games. They only had 3 points from 19 games. Today, they've won. So that's a little bit like your situation. You know, you might have been rejected or, you know, not had very many good experiences, but your West Ham is around the corner. You only need to win once as well. You only need to find that right person once, and that's it. Open goal. That's a lifetime contract. So stay in the game, keep your chin up, and I'm desperately not trying to say anything about vision, but keep your chin up, keep your eye out. I've done it. I bloody knew it. Keep looking. Done it again. But yeah, I mean, you just got to stay in the game. Just got to stay in the game. It only takes one. That's all it takes, isn't it? And that's a message to everybody. You know, don't settle for second best, because there's plenty of fish out there. You just got to keep dipping your rod in the water, and one day they'll take a bite. Favourite Lord of the Rings character, says Joe. Boromir's death is brilliant. I mean, Boromir's death is absolutely incredible. But I'd probably say Boromir or Aragon or Strider. Bournemouth scored from 2 long throws against Chelsea, got them a result. If you had a left-back who could take them leading to goals, would you be open to it? Look, Hayden, I think anything in moderation is a good thing. I mean, you know, your other half might say, I'll try that once. Oh, it was quite nice, but we're not doing it every week. And you've just got to go, well, I enjoy it, so let's do it every 6 months. And they might go, yeah, that's fine. But in moderation, you know, a long throw obsession does my bloody head in. That's what I'm saying. Super dry January marks, says Chris Jackson. Talking about super dry, I got an absolutely lovely pair of cargo pants for Christmas. Super dry. It's not really a brand I would use. I would normally not buy Superdry because it just makes me think of those jackets everybody used to wear, and I had a word for them beginning with C, and it was 4 letters. Not the one that rhymes with runt. The one that rhymes with bav. But yeah, absolutely very happy with the cargo pants, and I've seen a shirt I quite like as well. So well done. Mark Rowling here with the gender talk. Says WC, don't get me into that. Don't get me down into that. Haaland and Mbappe is 51-49. I've got Haaland hipsters saying close the poll, but I ain't closing that poll because that's close. We've got a close poll here, and Harry Kane is waiting for the winner. Anyway, thanks for a brilliant show. I'm glad I didn't do the Villa game. I think if I do 2 watch-alongs in a day, it tends to not... I can never get more than a 7 out of 10. If I do 1 watch-along, it's like all the energy goes into that 2 hours and I'm capable of a 10. So I'm very happy. This is my first watch-along today. Crappiest Christmas present you got this year? Rebel says I got a used sellotape dispenser. Someone's trying to tell you something there. Right, PRV Bridge talking in-game for the disabled, says John. And did you hear the Xavi news? And also, do you think we'll get anyone in January? What's the... Oh, Jack! Jack, that is absolute foreplay with nothing coming out of it. What do you mean? You can't do that. Did you hear the Xavi news? And also, do you think we'll get anyone in January? I do think we'll get someone in January because I think the fans are putting pressure on the club. I really do. But I don't know what the Xavi news is, and you're annoying me now because I don't know what it is, and you've just left it there. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. You don't get this on Sky. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. We offer something different. If you don't like it, don't watch it. If you do like it, make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. We're very close to 446,000, by the way. We're only about 200 away, so please do subscribe to the channel. Lots coming up in 2026 as well, which we're very excited about. Obviously, I don't announce anything till it's done, so I'm not allowed to start dropping hints about what it is. And even if someone guesses it, I won't tell you, although I probably would because you won't guess it. But lots in the pipeline. Hypothetically, Mark, if you were ever the owner of Manchester United, would you have Ricky as your manager? I'd have him as a consultant so I could ignore some of his bad takes and steal all his good stuff. But I wouldn't leave him to his own devices because I'd come into work and there'd be some weird stuff going on. I've sold Bruno for free. He's gone on a free transfer. Bailey says, since we're in New Year's, who finishes in the top 5 in the Prem? Well, in no particular order. Arsenal, Man City, Villa, Liverpool. I mean, it could be Man United, you know. It could. We're absolutely dreadful, but it could be. It should probably be Chelsea, if I'm being honest. So I probably would go with that. Yeah. Yeah, I think I would do. Paula says, Romano tweeted earlier in regards to Baleba. Mate, I love Fabrizio, but when you know, I actually got in contact with somebody to find out if that was true. I mean, when you break it down, Man United like Baleba and have held talks with Baleba. I mean, shock, shock, shock. That we're not talking to Brighton, and he even said it would take a mega offer to get it done in January, which we won't do. It's basically just content. It's just spin, isn't it? There's nothing there that's actually going to get you excited. Please do share the video if you're watching and subscribe. I think I've just said that. Haaland, I'm going to give it to Haaland. 51% to Mbappe. He's been on 51% for ages. I can't keep winding up the City fans anymore. So Haaland's beaten Mbappe 51-49, which means I had him waiting in the wings. It's Haaland versus Kane. Move! It's Kane. Kane. It's Kane. This has got to be the weirdest. I mean, Rebel, I'll give you a shout out because this is one of the most niche either ors I've ever had. Mark, please do an either or for Samantha Fox or Cheryl Baker from Bucks Fizz. Words I'd never thought I would get. I mean that has got to be one of the best comments we've ever had. Sam Fox or Cheryl Baker from Bucks Fizz. I mean, it's going to whoosh over so many people's head that. Definitely Cheryl Baker in her Bucks Fizz days, not in not about 5-10 years after. Yeah, loads of people in the chat don't even know who it is. I'd say you've got to be over 40. Yeah. Joe says, what happened between you and Romano? Oh, we just had a massive fallout. No, I don't know what you mean. Nothing's happened. I really like Romano. I think he likes me. There's no bad blood there at all. Do you think Arsenal are going to win in the second half? Yes. Yes. But it's in the balance. I definitely think that they could win this game, Bournemouth. I think Arsenal will win it, but only because they've got such a good bench. if Arsenal didn't have much on the bench, I'd be worried. I think Martinelli's playing shite. Gyökeres is not in the game. And they're struggling to break them down. So, yeah. Zero says, are you going to play any charity matches this year, Mark? It's always been one of my big disappointments that I've never really been offered that many footballing opportunities. And I'm getting older. So, I'd still be better than most of the shit that plays in the charity games. But I am getting older now, and I just don't know whether the body would hold up. But stick me in the number 6, and I'll run the game piece of piss with one arm tied behind my back. Who wins a duel? Sir William Marshall or Richard Lionheart? Don't know who they are. It's WC Bosch. What's the difference between buying players for top 4 and buying players to stay in the Prem? We can't let these owners hide this January, says Who to Blame. I think 8 o'clock showing United Stand is going to be a cracker. Thank you very much, Who to Blame. Mr. Shawnee says, my son has changed from an Arsenal fan to a United fan. There's 2 things that worry me about that. 1, why is he changing his team? 2, why would you change from Arsenal to Man United? I mean, that is scary. Get him down the doctors. That is really bad decision making. And you know what? It starts off with going from Arsenal to Man United, and then it ends up with he brings a girl home, and you go, well done. And then he dumps her, and he brings home bloody Pat Butcher, 90, and had better days. So look, you need to sort out his decision making very, very quick. The Xavi news is that if the manager job became available, he would take it immediately. Also, who do you want in January in prediction for tomorrow, says Jack? I think I predicted a draw for United Leeds tomorrow on Premier League predictions. In fact, it's here in front of me. Yeah, Robbie predicted a Leeds win, and I predicted a draw. Who do you want in January? Conor Gallagher. And the Xavi news, I don't know who it's come in from, but I mean, it's Man United, isn't it? James has literally just asked, this isn't the United Stand, so what's your prediction for Leeds? Well, we do Premier League predictions on here every Friday morning with Robbie. So I do predict Man United on here. Let me have a quick look if I can find out Xavi. Xavi! Do you want the Manchester United job, Xavi? Xavi is ready to take the Manchester United job immediately if the job is offered, as per Fabrizio. What do you think about that, Gabi? Xavi is ready to take the Manchester United job immediately if the role is offered. What do you think about that, Gabi? Well, there you go. Players ready to go here, second half. Second half about to start. Let me get the timer. No changes from Arsenal. That's what I was just looking at there. I was trying to see if they'd made any changes, but they haven't. So same team out. Okay. Sorry, just lost the live chat there. Sorry, my wife's just messaged me saying, "Oh my God, ChatGPT is brilliant." And I'm, you know when somebody messages you and you go, "What's she done on Chat?" I mean, she could have asked anything. Like ChatGPT, how do I pleasure? You know, it could be anything. You know, I could be in for a great night, or it could be, you know, I've only got pork in the fridge. How do I turn it into a fantastic Saturday night dinner? Don't worry, I have messaged her back and said, "What's it done?" She could have, Thomas says she could be leaving you. It might be saying, "How do I leave?" Yeah, it could be anything. I mean, she could have asked it anything. Even, I reckon it'll be something, it won't be anything good for me. It won't. I mean, she won't be leaving me, but I reckon it'll be something to do with how do you redesign the utility room? Be something like that. James says, even if Xavi comes to United, the same thing will happen to him like every other manager that has come. Oh, I completely agree, mate. I'm not writing that down. I'm writing the Xavi thing down for 8 o'clock. Anyway, let's see what Arsenal can do in the second half. Arteta can make changes. He's got a very strong bench. But Bournemouth with a better attacking side in the first half. Lucas says, do you still rate Gyökeres? I can remember you talking highly of him, but he doesn't look anywhere near the quality of a Premier League player. I do rate Gyökeres. I think it's very similar to the sort of Wirtz situation, whereby they are struggling, but I wouldn't be in a rush to write them off. I still think that they can do it. But look, you know, honestly, I predicted Arsenal would win the league in August when no one else was doing it. So I look very, very intelligent there. But I also predicted that Gyökeres would win the Golden Boot, and I look a fucking idiot there. So, you know, sometimes you've got to admit that you might not have been right. Odegaard with a chance to whip a cross in here. It's a good cross. It's flicked to the bad post. Keeper should have come for that. Gyökeres, and they've cleared it. This isn't the United stand. I've done that one from James. Onana in goal for penalty or Phil Jones to take a penalty, says Clark. Yeah, that's not much of a choice, is it? I think I'd take Phil Jones on the penalty, to be honest. I mean, Onana at penalties is absolutely shit. End the poll. I can't believe Haaland's beat Kane 56%. I actually think Harry Kane is better than Haaland. I really do. I mean, fair, I respect the chat. 56% if you went with Haaland. I think Harry Kane's better. I do. Got a lot of space here on the right-hand side, Semenyo, and he didn't take Hincapié on. He played the pass, and it broke down. I think the quote on Romano in relation to Xavi is not a new quote, by the way. Apparently it's regurgitated from a few months ago. Lidl or Aldi, says Ethan. Oh, definitely Waitrose. I've never shopped at Waitrose. I don't really do any shopping anyway. Well, actually, that's a lie. I do. Actually, I do. Oh. She's just sent me the ChatGPT thing. I don't know what it's doing. It's a shelving unit. Okay. Basically, she just took a picture of a shelf and said what ornaments would look good on this. It doesn't make any sense to me. SJ says, rim jobs or Scholes goal against Villa. That's disgusting. Scholes goal against Villa. When we did that stream and it was like things that sound good that are actually disgusting. And it was like golden shower and pearl necklace and things like that. I tell you what, I will say it. I will say it, but I'm not going to explain what it is. I found out over Christmas what teabagging is. That's absolutely ridiculous. They're sex people, Lynn. I mean, it's just disgusting. I know a lot. I think I'm quite open-minded and I think I'm quite educated on that area. But I didn't know what that was. Oh my God. I mean, they're filthy. They're disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. It's disgusting. Yeah. Filth. Absolute filth. And why would you want to do it as well? It's just the whole action of how you do it. Like, the position your body must be in. So you'd be like that going, I just don't. I just don't. Don't. Who comes up with that? The name and the actual activity? Anyway, back to the football. They're in. Bournemouth down the left-hand side. He needs a cut back. Oh, he went for the shot. Brooks. I thought he was going to cut it back. He went for the shot. It went wide. I don't know how close it was, but for a minute there, it was just a quick kick, free kick by Bournemouth. Intelligent quick free kick. He's definitely onside. Runs down the left-hand side, cuts into the box, gets the shot from an angle. Nah, it's nowhere near. And Raya knew it. Raya knew it. It was nowhere near. It's me says best two newcomers to the Premier League poll. Well, who are the best two newcomers? I'm not that involved, right? You give me two players, I'll put them on the poll. I'm not doing any bloody work for it though. I'm not coming up with your poll for you. Gyökeres, Odegaard, Rice, goal! Rice, baby, 2-1. And I tell you what, people slag off Gyökeres, but he does a lot of work there. It's the battling with the centre-backs that lead to the loose ball for Odegaard. It's a lovely goal by Declan Rice. Hit it low, finishing absolutely on point. And Arsenal have that lead that I predicted they would get at half-time. Lovely little assist by Odegaard. Lovely finish by Declan Rice. Look, it wasn't lovely build-up play by Gyökeres, but he put himself about. Look at this. Ball over the top. Battles the centre-back. Ball comes loose. Odegaard lays it off. Declan Rice, bottom corner. You don't save those. 53 minutes. Arsenal 2-1 up. And it'll, that'll annoy Arsenal. That'll annoy Man City fans because it's a close game. But this is what titles are made of. Remember, they drew here last season. No, they lost here last season. They've come from behind in the league 2-1. I agree with Deacon here. I've said this so many times and people don't seem to grasp it. They don't seem to, they don't seem to analyse football in the way that I and many others do. Gyökeres isn't scoring goals, but he is a battering ram, the way that Jesus and Havertz can't be. He literally occupies defenders. He battles with defenders, and it does create space. It's not pretty, and he's not scoring loads of goals, but it does create space for others. And I'm pretty sure Arteta would explain that in the same way. Like, they're a better team with Gyökeres in it because he does stretch the defence. He does occupy defenders, and that creates the space. WC Bosch says, wait till you learn about a Cleveland steamer. Someone told me this one before. Don't search it. This game ain't over. William says league over. This game isn't even over. What beer are you drinking? I'm on Asahi tonight. If they want to sponsor the channel, definitely please do. Any lager, actually. It's a lovely beer, Asahi. Bit dry, but nice. Bournemouth still on the attack. Terrible cross. Too much height, too much power. Saeed says, I sold Rice in my FPL for Odegaard. Well, I wouldn't be too stressed about that. It's not like you've sold him to get Caicedo in, who's suspended. I mean, Odegaard did get the assist. Do you drink Guinness, Mark? I had a Guinness over Christmas, yeah. I wouldn't drink it, like, a lot, but it's nice every now and again. MDP, this is an either or I like. It's coming in. Donnarumma or Onana? No, it's Donnarumma or Courtois. Remember to subscribe to the channel. It's a very busy January on That's Football. The transfer window's open, so we've got daily content anyway. But we've also got loads of watch-alongs because, I mean, Arsenal play 9 games. I think Liverpool play 9 games. We've got Champions League, Carabao Cup, Premier League. It's all going on. So get involved with That's Football. Very different types of conversation on here, which I'm sure you would all attest to if you've been watching the last hour. Here's Semenyo. Oh, what a cross! Oh, he can't believe it. I tell you what, if you do that for Man City, Haaland's tapping that in. He can't believe it. He's put such a good cross in here. I mean, imagine him doing this at Man City. Watch the cross. Right across the 6-yard box. Nobody's there. But at Man City, they will be. They'll be ready and waiting. Corner to Bournemouth. This game ain't over. Lovely corner. Raya can't punch it away, but somebody heads it away. Edge of the box. Terrible shot. Bournemouth still got it, though. Remember, Bournemouth haven't won a game since October. They're too good to be in a relegation battle, but they've got to start winning games. Shot straight at Raya there. They call me Mr. Bombastic, clearly fantastic. Watch me down the road, and it's a Mr. Romantic, clearly fantastic. Can't beat a bit of Shaggy. Please do share the video. Thank you very much. I don't think it's over. Well, it's not. There's half an hour to go, but I really don't feel like Bournemouth are going to stop attacking. What did I say? 3-1 or 4-2. Lovely ball out to Madueke. Wants to stretch his legs, and he does. Oh, he's done it again. Great tackle by Truffert. That's been a great battle. I like Truffert. I think he's a really good signing for Bournemouth. And Madueke against Truffert's been a really good test. How old is Truffert at Bournemouth? Because I reckon he's going to be another player that they're going to cash in on. Adrian Truffert. He's French. He's 24. Wait till I've done that one. Thank you very much. Madueke makes the first. Odegaard assist for the second. Rajaf's very happy. Courtois has battered Donnarumma 65% to 35%. Headed away, Bournemouth. I tell you what, Bournemouth defend corners well. Madueke again, going to that touchline. I think that's what I like about Madueke. Saka doesn't go to the byline because he's left-footed. Madueke does. And I'm not saying that Madueke is better than Saka, but what I am saying is I prefer a winger that goes to the byline. It's just something traditional about it. he will go to the touchline and cut it back. Saka won't do it because he's left-footed. He wants to cut in. It's weird because Saka's better than Madueke, but I really like watching Madueke in an Arsenal shirt. He's just really traditional winger. How Chelsea didn't get the best out of him, I don't know. And Madueke is left-footed as well. Yeah, I know. It's a great point, but he will go to the touchline, which is just. But he has got a good right foot on him, and he's just put a lovely cross in with his right foot there. Nah, Madueke's not better than Saka. He's not. Saka's a wonderful player, but I mean, as I said at the start of the game, to be able to rest Saka and come to Bournemouth and be winning 2-1, wow. Stephen, we had one at half time. Sam Fox versus Cheryl Baker from Bucks Fizz. I think Stevens just took the title for random either or. He says Epstein versus P. Diddy. We're not going to do it, but I am intrigued by these random either ors. Interesting half an hour to go. This has been a great stream, by the way. I've really enjoyed it. I'm not saying I don't enjoy all streams, but I have enjoyed today. It's been good. It's what we do. Either or, Watkins or Isak. I mean, Doyle, I will do it because you've done a super chat, but I think that's going to be very one-way traffic, and it probably shouldn't be, but recency bias is going to destroy it, I think. WC Bosch says, how can you say that with all the right-footed goals Saka scores at the near post? WC Bosch. No, yeah, but I'm talking about the creativity. You know? Madueke's more direct, goes a bit more quicker. Rajaf says, Madueke is your type of player, Mark. I test always. Yeah, but I'm not going to lie, because the tweets will be there and I don't delete them. I thought that Madueke to Arsenal was stupid. I thought it was absolutely stupid. I thought some of the Arsenal fans' reaction to it was bang out of order, because you've got to back a club when they buy a player, whether you like it or not. I didn't want Matic. I didn't want Lukaku. I didn't want Fellaini, but you give him a chance. That's a lovely ball into Gyökeres, but fair play to the keeper. He's read it and ran out. So no, I thought Madueke was a stupid signing, but that's just brilliant recruitment from Arsenal. You've got to give massive credit to their recruitment team and Arteta, because they got it absolutely spot. And they paid a lot of money for him as well. Looks like Gyökeres might be coming off because Jesus is warming up. Hi, Mark. I'm a West Ham fan. Do you think we have any chance at all at staying up, says Amber. Well, you have, because you're not cut adrift yet. You know, you've got Forest. If you lose to Forest on Tuesday, you're in deep shit, because they're safety and they're 4 points ahead of you. So if they beat you, they're 7 points ahead. So you're not down yet, but it don't look good. I feel like Arsenal's. This should be the sub. It's quite close between Isak and Watkins. 53% to Watkins. Mohammed says, "What's your take on the US running Venezuela?" I haven't watched the news, mate, so I'm not getting involved in that. Do you think Lampard will do well with Coventry in the Prem, says Ben? Well, they'll 100% be favourites to go down, won't they? I mean, that's just the way it is when you come up. But you've got to look at like what Sunderland have done and say maybe they can replicate that. Please do share the video, by the way. We've got nearly 12,000 watching. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in tonight. Some really good comments coming in as well. Anthony with a super chat says, would winning the World Cup with a German in charge hit the same? Surely the UK rejoins the EU if that happens. Mate, I couldn't give two shits if England win the World Cup with Tuchel or whether they win it with Southgate. I mean, I'd probably rather win it with Tuchel. I couldn't give a toss, really. I definitely think there are people of a certain generation that wouldn't like it, and I certainly think there would be people who would be rolling in their grave at this, obviously because of World War II. But in 2025, I just don't. I don't. You know, the world needs to move on, and you know, I don't see it as a problem at all. There are things in 2025 that I think are just ridiculous and woke and not woke, politically correct bollocks and all that shit. But I don't have a problem with that. You know, probably the best manager England could get. Let's see what happens. Just a shout out, by the way, the playoffs in the NFL start next weekend. We'll be doing the Super Bowl final again this year on the 8th of February. So mark it in your diary, 8th of February. It's a Sunday night into the early hours of Monday. We do it every year. And, yeah, looking forward to that. And no Chiefs. The Chiefs aren't going to be in the playoffs, so it will make for an interesting final. Just lost my live chat again. So substitutions happened there, and I bloody missed them. Saka on for Madueke, Jesus on for Gyökeres, and Trossard on for Martinelli. So the whole front three being changed there. That's what you call rotation. Madueke, bit unlucky to be going off, but I think you'd be pissed off if you're Madueke coming off, because arguably Arsenal's best player. But Arteta's got so many options, hasn't he? Mark, just want to say you've helped me a lot through the years, through my ups and downs. Keep doing what you're doing. Legend, says Doyle Terrace, who I know for a fact is actually a professional trampolinist. That's a joke because of the ups and downs. It was a joke, Doyle Terrace. Thanks very much for your super chat, and I'm glad to have you as part of our community. Happy New Year, Mark. Reckon United win tomorrow, says T. I mean, I don't think it's beyond the realms of possibility, but I don't think we will win. Leeds are unbeaten in 7, I think. And but I think it will be a draw. That's what I've gone with. Saka. I mean, it's an interesting afternoon for Truffert, isn't it? You get run ragged by Madueke, and now you've got Saka. James says, do you think you'd be able to outswim a Mako shark to get to safety? Of course, not bloody no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be able to outswim a dead shark, let alone a Mako shark. I'm a slow swimmer, I am. I've always been. I can swim, but I'm bloody slow. Michael Bow says, I'm happy to be part of the channel and to get on board. Thank you, pal. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. Dumfries says, I'm jealous of Arsenal's squad depth. Man United don't even have a starting 11, let alone a bloody bench. BX says, come on, Bournemouth, I need it. Look, it's in the balance. There's still a chance Bournemouth can get back into it. Sorry, Saki, I've missed your super chat here. One signing you wish Man United had made, says Jay. I mean, I was really gutted that we missed out on Ronaldinho all those years ago. Wenger versus Mourinho, Mark. 3rd greatest Premier League manager. I'll do a poll for you. Watkins has beaten Isak, 53%. And then I'll answer that question. I don't really like nostalgia ones. Because when you think about it, Wenger was in his prime 25 years ago. A lot of you're not going to know that, are you? I mean, look, I tweeted this the other day. I got sent a clip of somebody saying Van Dijk is better than Rio and Vidic. Now, Rio and Vidic were basically in their prime together as a partnership, sort of 2008. So that's nearly like 20 years ago. The person who was saying it was in their early 20s. Goal! Wait, that's it. Game over. Saka to Rice. Game over. Chuff monster. Absolute chuff monster. Here's my point. Not Declan Rice. I'm talking about somebody in their early 20s saying that Van Dijk's better than Rio and Vidic. There is a debate about whether Van Dijk's better than Rio and Vidic, but it can't come from somebody in their early 20s who was wearing nappies when Vidic and Rio were in their prime, because you can't go back and watch it on video, and you wouldn't anyway. To know about a player, it's not about watching YouTube clips. It's about living the era, the circumstances, what was going on in football. How many Arsenal games have we watched this season in the space of 5 months? Probably 15 games. And you need to do that over a period of 3 or 4 seasons as well. You can't get that on YouTube. Lovely play by Saka, cut back, Rice, 3-1. I predicted 3-1 or 4-2. Arsenal have just found their way. Odegaard again with the ball into Saka. It's so smooth, that. And that's what a bench does. This is what we mean about Arsenal. They've made a triple substitution, and they're bringing on players like Saka. Easy goal for Declan Rice. Apparently, Michael Carrick is high in West Ham's thinking if they get rid of Nuno. Obviously, he did play for West Ham before Spurs, before Man United. Rice into Saka. No, good interception. I don't see Bournemouth coming back now. The Man City Semenyo experiment hasn't worked. And of course, Arsenal lost here last season. So it shows you the turnaround. Power subs, says Lang. Mark, if you could go and watch any football game in history at the stadium, what would you choose? Ooh, good one, biggest ball knowledge. I probably would. I wasn't at the Nou Camp in '99, so knowing what was going to happen, I think as a United fan, that would be the pinnacle. Hi, Mark. Best advice for buying your first house, is Tom. I'm desperate for a wee. I'll be back. I'm just going to think about that. Chat amongst yourselves. I'll only be a minute. It's a bit of a fixer-upper. I think the best advice I could give you for buying a new house is make sure you can bloody afford it. Don't stretch yourself too much. And also, don't move into a shit area. A nice house in a shit area is not worth it. You're better off going for a fixer-upper in a better area. Because you've got to live there, mate. You know, basically. I did wash my hands, thank you. Hygienic bridge. Yeah. Favourite NFL team, says Sean. Well, I've always I was sort of gifted the Cowboys because my grandparents went to America when I was about 8. And they came back with a load of American sports memorabilia because I liked sport. And I got a Dallas Cowboys top. So I always liked the Cowboys. But since I've been into the NFL more, I actually just like watching the Bills because I like Josh Allen as a quarterback. They won't win the NFL, but I'd love to see them win the NFL. So I like the Bills. I also like Goal! 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 3-2. What a goal. They've got a goal back. Bournemouth. Goal, Bournemouth. 15 minutes to go. It's not over yet. It ain't over yet. What a bit of play. I mean, he was part of the build-up, and oh, what a hit. I don't know whether it gets a bit of deflection. I mean, he's on the wing, gets it laid back into him. Oh, no, that's just delightful. Absolutely delightful. Croupy. Oh, what a goal. What a goal. Absolutely brilliant. Right, we've got a real game on. I'll tell you what, I'd have been gutted if that had happened when I was on the toilet. I really would. I've come back at right time there. If I'd delayed that piss by 1 minute, I would have missed that goal. Wow. Well, here we go. Don't worry, there's no transfer news. I mean, just here we go. It's on. It's on like Pete Tong. I tell you what, the title, we might remember this. This is it now. 10 minutes to go. Bournemouth are going to push for it. What an entertaining game. I said 3-1 or 4-2, didn't I? So I could still be right on the score prediction. And I don't even like predicting scores. I think it's difficult to predict scores. Trossard, you can't be losing it there. What a stupid place to lose that. And he's won a corner. That's crap by Trossard. Really crap. Corner, Arsenal. Sorry, corner, Bournemouth. In it comes. That's a good call. It's side netter. I'll tell you what, for a minute, I thought that was actually going to go in. Well, from 3-1 and comfortable, Arsenal fans, you've got to be feeling a little bit uncomfortable now. Croupy with an absolute banger. That's a great goal. That is absolutely great goal. Please do share the video, by the way, and make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. We've still got a few minutes to go here, and it's 3-2, mate. And Bournemouth are going to push. Stephen says, I think Arsenal are going to bottle this. Tim says, I don't get nervous, but I am getting a bit shaky. Semenyo gets it back. Good defending by Arsenal there. Rice. Semenyo's got to be careful because he is on a yellow. And Trossard again losing the ball. Fucking hell, he's won a free kick there. But I'd be, if I was the captain, I'd be telling Trossard to just get rid of the fucking ball. Hi, Mark. Thank you very much for that. I'm still upset that the US men's team didn't beat England last World Cup, but what a beautiful draw for us. US looks so crap now, this upcoming World Cup versus 2022, says Trinity. And Robinson Crusoe says, I'm expecting our first son this year. Is Alonso a good first name? What's your thought on unique names? Well, I think when you're naming your child, you've got plenty of time to think about it, unless they turn up the door and say, Dad, I haven't got a name. And you'd go, well, what you've been doing for 18 years. You got time to think about it and settle on a name that you're happy with, definitely. Dennis Irwin is one of the best fullbacks in Premier League history. He absolutely is, Anto. Well done. Odegaard's coming off for Moreno. And Cormac says, I can't wait to see that some freak after triple captain Rice on FPL Team of the Week. Oh, yeah, there will be, Cormac. There always is. Either Mark, either or, Leclerc or Russell. I'll let the chat decide that. Yeah. So 10 minutes to go. Bournemouth on the attack. Arsenal have got the best defence in the league. But they've got to hold this out now. Arteta will be looking a little bit nervous here. Made a lot of changes. Declan Rice is going to put a long throw in. DBX says, what a strike, cleaner than a nun's, and then he's left it there. Thanks for all your super chats tonight. We still have got 10 minutes to go here. It's been a 5-goal, I wouldn't say it's been a thriller, but it's been a good game. Arsenal were 3-1 up. I'd say the scoreline at the moment does reflect the game. It's just what Bournemouth can do in the last 10. Man City Chelsea is my next watch along tomorrow. But don't forget, United stand tomorrow at 12:30. We're at Ellen Road. United against Leeds. It's going to be tough. It's going to be very, very, very interesting atmosphere. Leeds hate United. We're their biggest rival. It's not reciprocal, but it will make it a difficult game. This 10 minutes could be massive in the Premier League title race. Remember, it's a 4-point gap now with Man City drawing at Sunderland. City fans and people who don't want Arsenal to win the league will be really hoping that there is a sting in the tail here and that Arsenal can drop points. For the title race, I suppose a lot of people are probably hoping for that. Arsenal, well, look, you lost here at Bournemouth. Even a point would be an improvement, but being 3-1 up, you don't want to see another Sunderland here where it's a late equaliser. It might not be a bad point. Against Bournemouth, who have played well, but it's certainly going to be an interesting last 10 minutes. And it's a chance for Bournemouth to whip a cross in again. It's way overhit. Way overhit. Such a waste that. It's a shame. It's a waste. It's not a shame for Arsenal, but it's a shame for Bournemouth. And now it's Hincapié. He's got loads of room down the left-hand side. Trossard. That's not a foul. Hey, that's not a foul. He fell over himself. Mate, watch the game. Watch the game. Have you noticed how Arsenal players keep running in front of Semenyo when they've got the ball as well? It's almost like they know if they can get him sent off, he's suspended. And I think his next game will be Man City. Interesting context to this game. Semenyo is going to sign for Man City this week. He could literally be the player that takes points off Arsenal. Mourinho, 61%, Wenger, 39%. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner, get involved with That's Football. You're all very welcome here. There will be a match reaction to this game as well. Yes, I'll record it after, which is normal for a match reaction. Headed away by Bournemouth. And Moreno with a shot from a long way out. But easy save for the keeper. Is there a player in the Man United starting squad who won't be starting for any of the other 19 teams in the league? For me, it's Delo, says Anki. I mean, it's a hard question because you've got to go through the whole league and then you've got to look at the crap teams like Burnley and Wolves. I don't know. Delo might start for Burnley. Although don't they have Kyle Walker? I mean, it's not a bad shout. Delot, I don't think Delot would start for many Premier League sides. I think that's a fair point. I think there are a few United players that won't start for many Premier League sides, if I'm being honest. Saka's got a bit of space here. Oh, how Arsenal would love the fourth. Here's Rice into Trossard. He'll cut inside on the right and shoot. Told you. And it's a corner. Odegaard seems less involved these days. Do you think a new captain will be needed soon? If so, my money is on Rice. What do you mean he's on? Jack, what are you talking about? He literally got the assist on the second and created the third as well. Army says, I thought Rice was supposed to be injured. Good job he isn't. He didn't. He missed the game against Villa, but 2 goals tonight. Who do you think should win the World Cup in 2026? Says Ishmael. I mean, I think Spain should be one of the favourites, but I think it's open. It's a lovely corner by Saka. They've cleared it. Bournemouth, are they going to commit men forward here? Oh, God, excuse me. When will Bournemouth win a game again? Who have they got next? Wednesday night, home to Tottenham. I don't know why I made a noise. Why did I make a noise like a cow? They've got Bournemouth at home. Sorry, they've got Tottenham at home. Then they've got Brighton away. Then they've got Liverpool at home. Then they've got Wolves away. I mean, it's a long time to go without a win, isn't it, for Bournemouth? Do you think Semenyo will be a starter at City, says Shahid? I do. I think I do think he'll go straight into the team. Ooh. Arav says, "Why is Eze not playing?" I don't know. I think Arteta can be a little bit like that. I mean, I think Eze has been a really good signing for Arsenal. But recently, he's just not in favour, is he? But you've got a lot of good options. Into the last minute, but there will be stoppage time. Be interesting to see how many he gives. What's for tea, Mark? I've got salmon. I don't know what's with it, but we've definitely got salmon. I had a lovely curry last night as well. Absolutely brilliant. It was quite funny, actually, because the guy who delivered the curry said, is everything all right? I said, what do you mean? He says, well, you know, we've not delivered for ages. And I went, well, I definitely haven't been using anybody else. I've not been cheating on you. I clearly haven't had a curry for a while then, because we would never use anybody else. Do you think United are worse than Wolves? No, that's silly. I mean, you are where you deserve to be in the Premier League. Whether the Premier League's crap or not, you do have the points you have. Right, we're about to find. I'm going to predict 6 minutes. 6 minutes added on, I think. Whoa! There you go. Should be a ref. Six minutes is about right. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm live on the United Stand at 8 o'clock. I'll do a quick match reaction here, have something to eat. Live at 8 o'clock. Get myself another one of these. And away we go. What is the chances Semenyo changing his mind and wants to go to Arsenal, says Brandon? I think he'd love to go to Arsenal, but Arsenal do not need Semenyo, do they? He predominantly plays on the right-hand side for Arsenal, for Bournemouth. And, you know, Arsenal have got Saka and Madueke. I mean, I do think, I don't rate Martinelli, and Trossard is okay. I don't watch Traitors, no. That's a lovely ball out to Jesus. He's done well. I don't think Jesus is all that either. Well, loads of people in the chat saying I'm hoping Bournemouth equalise. They have still got 5 minutes, but it's Arsenal with the ball. Be a great win for Arsenal. I mean, I do think Man City will beat Chelsea tomorrow. I think if Maresca had stayed, I had a funny feeling Chelsea were going to get something. But no Caicedo, no manager. I think that's an easy Man City win. Could be one last chance for Bournemouth, says Mikey. They just can't get the ball at the pitch at the moment. Who eats salmon with tea, says Waka. No. Tea is like your dinner. King has made a great point. We are not comfortable in this game. We need a better attacking midfielder that doesn't dwell on the ball too long like Martin Odegaard. Look, I've said that about Arsenal. If you want to be critical of Arsenal this season, don't misprofile the problems. Defensively, very good. I think Gyökeres might not be scoring goals, but he does, you know, cause physical altercations, which creates space. But I think if I was being critical of Arsenal, it's hard to be critical when they're so dominant in the league. If I was being critical of Arsenal, I think their biggest issue is actually they don't move the ball quick enough in the final third. It's all a little bit, you know, pragmatic, and there are opportunities where they can move the ball a little bit quicker. About 2 minutes to go in stoppage time, and it's a corner to Arsenal. I think they're going to go short. Yeah. Absolute waste of time. Tea is dinner for Northerners, says Edge. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, it's an early one tomorrow. I'll be live at bloody midday for a watch-along. I don't like that. I don't like... It's okay on a Saturday, but on a Sunday, I don't want to be doing a watch-along at 12:30. When are you taking your Christmas tree down? It'll be gone from the start of the working week, Monday. So Sunday tomorrow. I mean, technically, it should still be up on Monday because a Monday is the 12th day, the 5th. So technically, I should still have it up on Monday, but I'm going to take it down tomorrow. Well, thanks everyone for sharing your time with me today. It's never not appreciated. You can join me at 8 o'clock on the United Stand. The United Stand's very, very, what's the word? Not toxic. Tempestuous at the moment. There's a lot of strong opinions on there. So me with a few beers in me is going to make for a good show. Choose that if you want to at 8 o'clock. But look, it looks like I can't see Arsenal not doing this now. Well, maybe goal kick to Bournemouth. About 30 seconds to go. They've not, to be fair, Bournemouth haven't got anywhere near scoring an equaliser in the last 15 minutes. There was a great goal by Krupe to make it 3-2, but they've not created anything. Arsenal have defended very well. And that's blocked. Semenyu's going to take this one last long throw in. This could be it. People are saying penalty in the chat. I did not see a penalty at all, but a lot of people are saying penalty. Doesn't seem to be any appeal for anything. It's going to be a long throw by Semenyo. The keeper's up. And Rice has won it, but Semenyo, he's blown as well. I'll tell you what, that was a bit strange by the referee, the way the header was cleared to Semenyo on the attack and he wouldn't let him put a cross in, but there we go. 3-2 to Arsenal. And I think that's what Bournemouth are having a moan about. It's like, why couldn't we just put another cross in? It was, to be honest, that was silly. A lot of people saying it was a penalty. And Bournemouth, I didn't see it. Charles says cheated. I haven't seen it, so I don't know what we're talking about here. I'm gonna do a match reaction. I just want to see what they're talking about. I agree with Mark. He shouldn't have blown the final whistle when Semenyu's about to put a cross in. So look, the header comes in, it's headed out. Semenyu's on the attack, and he just blows the whistle. And I think that's what they're moaning about. I don't think they're moaning about a penalty. He should have let that cross go in. He really should have let that cross go in. But there we go. Take care, everyone. We're on the United Stand at 8 o'clock. We're back here tomorrow for Chelsea at Man City, and I'll have a match reaction for you in a few minutes' time. Thanks everyone for watching. Stay safe.